2025 budget garden ideas, stylish small space landscaping tips. In 2025, the art of garden design evolves beyond decoration into a refined discipline that balances elegance, affordability, and sustainability. As an architect presenting my vision, I see each outdoor space, no matter how small, not as a limitation, but as an opportunity to craft beauty with intention. The contemporary garden is no longer about vast lawns or expensive installations. It's about transforming modest balconies, narrow backyards, or tiny terraces into sanctuaries that embody style, personality, and practicality. This shift reflects the changing fabric of our cities, where urban density demands resourcefulness and where design must answer both aesthetic and environmental needs. The foundation of any successful garden design begins with the plants themselves. Native and low-maintenance species form the core of my approach. These plants thrive naturally in their home environment, resisting pests, weather extremes, and soil challenges without excessive care. They eliminate the need for costly irrigation systems or chemical interventions, reducing both expenses and ecological footprints. Yet beyond practicality, they also create a sense of authenticity. A garden rooted in its native landscape feels organic and timeless, as if it belongs to its setting. To enrich this palette, I layer in seasonal blooms, orchestrating waves of colour and fragrance that shift across the year. This rhythm ensures that the garden never feels static. It evolves with time, offering freshness without constant reinvestment. For compact gardens, climbing plants such as ivy, bougainvillea, and climbing roses become vital. They reach upward, adorning vertical plains with lush greenery and vibrant flowers, preserving precious ground space for seating, pathways, or quiet corners. The mastery of verticality defines much of modern small space design. Where horizontal expanse is limited, I direct the gaze skyward. Vertical gardening is more than a technique, it is a revelation. By introducing wall-mounted planters, trellises, and reclaimed wooden pallets, I construct living walls that breathe vitality into overlooked surfaces. The result is not only functional, but also sculptural, giving dimension and dynamism to compact settings. Hanging baskets suspended from beams or railings bring layers of texture, while tiered arrangements of herbs or flowers create depth in even the narrowest corners. This approach transforms space itself, making modest areas appear expansive, filled with depth and character. A balcony becomes a green alcove, a narrow passage turns into a vibrant corridor, and a small patio radiates the energy of a larger courtyard. Equally integral to my design language is the use of recycled and repurposed materials. To me, every reclaimed object carries a story, and incorporating it into the garden is both a creative challenge and a sustainable choice. Old wooden pallets are reborn as rustic shelving or planter frames. Vintage metal tins, clay pots, or glass jars gain new life as vessels for herbs, succulents, or seasonal flowers. I repurpose gravel, reclaimed bricks, and natural stones into pathways and borders, crafting movement and structure without resorting to costly manufactured materials. These decisions do more than stretch budgets, they embody the spirit of sustainability. The garden becomes not only a visual delight, but also a statement of ecological responsibility, aligning with the ethos of 2025, where design and environmental consciousness are inseparable. Lighting, subtle yet transformative, plays a crucial role in shaping the atmosphere of a garden. While the daylight highlights colours and forms, the night demands a different form of artistry. Solar-powered LEDs, affordable and energy efficient, provide the ideal solution. I drape string lights across pergolas or weave them through branches, creating a soft, inviting glow that transforms a simple space into an enchanting retreat. Spotlights placed with precision highlight plants, sculptures, or architectural features, adding layers of depth that extend the perception of space. Pathway lights guide movement, while accent beams reveal textures of stone or foliage. Through light, I create dual personalities for the same garden, a lively, vibrant haven in the day and an intimate, elegant sanctuary at night. This duality elevates even the smallest outdoor area into a versatile living environment. Furniture within compact gardens requires a careful balance of form and function. Every piece must serve multiple purposes, maximizing limited square footage without clutter. I design around benches that conceal storage, foldable chairs that appear only when needed, and modular units that adapt fluidly to different gatherings. A planter that doubles as a seat, a dining table that folds neatly away, or a set of lightweight stools that can be rearranged with ease. All these elements embody the philosophy of adaptability. This approach ensures that the garden remains functional for everyday living while retaining a clean, uncluttered aesthetic. Flexibility is elegance. It allows spaces to breathe while serving the shifting needs of their inhabitants. Minimalism ties these elements together into a coherent whole. In a compact garden, excess distracts while restraint refines. My philosophy is to select a few defining features and allow them to speak with clarity. A single bonsai becomes a symbol of patience and artistry. A small fountain introduces the soothing sound of water, lending serenity to the atmosphere. A simple stone pathway directs both movement and perspective, guiding the visitor through a narrative of design. Neutral tones in surfaces and furnishings establish balance, allowing greenery and blooms to emerge as natural highlights. By embracing simplicity, I achieve sophistication. The garden becomes not an accumulation of objects, but a composition where each element is deliberate, harmonious, and timeless. The garden of 2025 is not merely an outdoor space, it is an extension of lifestyle. It adapts to the rhythms of life, offering a corner for morning reflection, a retreat for yoga or meditation, or a setting for shared meals and evening conversations. It is as functional as it is beautiful, a stage for daily rituals and meaningful moments. Through thoughtful design choices, native planting, vertical exploration, repurposed materials, atmospheric lighting, adaptable furniture, and minimalist restraint, I demonstrate that elegance does not depend on size or cost. It emerges from intention, discipline, and creativity. The garden becomes a sanctuary of balance, proof that even in the smallest of spaces one can find luxury, not in excess, but in harmony. In 2025, as I continue to refine my approach to compact and budget-friendly garden design, I find myself returning again and again to one essential truth. The success of any outdoor space lies in its ability to serve the daily life of those who inhabit it. A garden is not only a collection of plants and objects, it is a living environment that must breathe with its owners, respond to their needs, and offer them beauty without demanding excessive care. In this second part of my vision, I want to unfold the deeper strategies that transform a modest outdoor setting into a space of sophistication and versatility. One of the first principles I emphasize is the creation of zones, even in the smallest of gardens. Dividing space into functional areas gives clarity and order, just as in architecture. For example, a balcony of only a few square meters can still host multiple experiences. A small corner for morning coffee, a vertical frame dedicated to herbs and vegetables, and a compact seating area for evening relaxation. By subtly separating these functions, through planters, flooring changes, or lighting, I create a rhythm that feels both dynamic and organized. This method prevents the space from becoming chaotic, instead giving it the elegance of thoughtful structure. In this way, even a limited area provides diversity, supporting rest, nourishment, and social interaction, all within the same environment. The second strategy lies in the art of layering textures and materials. Just as an architect balances stone, wood, and metal in a building, I orchestrate combinations of natural and reclaimed materials in the garden. A wooden deck, modest in size, can contrast beautifully with gravel pathways edged by reclaimed brick. Clay pots rest beside steel planters, each one highlighting the other through contrast. Textures, rough stone against smooth terracotta, polished glass jars against weathered timber, create visual interest without the need for excess ornamentation. This layering approach makes the garden appear rich and sophisticated, even when the budget is limited. It is the architectural principle of composition applied in an outdoor setting, harmony born from deliberate contrast. Another essential aspect is the cultivation of edible landscapes. More and more, I design gardens where herbs, vegetables, and fruit-bearing plants share the stage with ornamental species. A compact vertical frame can hold basil, mint, and thyme, while strawberry plants spill gently over hanging containers. Dwarf citrus trees in pots offer fragrance and fruit while serving as sculptural elements in the design. These gardens are not only beautiful but deeply functional, connecting daily life to the cycles of growth and harvest. In an era where sustainability is paramount, such edible gardens embody responsibility, proving that a space can nourish the body while also delighting the eye. They remind us that elegance is not only aesthetic, it is also practical. Water, too, plays a subtle yet profound role in small space gardens. While large ponds or elaborate fountains may be impractical, the elegance of water can be introduced through simple features. A modest stone basin with a trickling spout creates both sound and movement, enriching the sensory experience of the garden. Even a tabletop water feature can bring calm to a small terrace, its gentle sound masking urban noise and inviting reflection. The presence of water introduces a meditative quality, a reminder of natural rhythms that contrasts with the busyness of city life. In design, such details elevate the atmosphere, ensuring that the space is not only visually pleasing, but emotionally restorative. Seating arrangements deserve careful attention as well. I do not see chairs and benches as separate from the garden's aesthetic, but as integral architectural components. A curved bench built into the edge of a planter, a small bistro set tucked beneath a pergola, or a swing chair hanging lightly in a corner, all these become experiences as much as objects. By integrating seating with greenery, the garden feels cohesive and the visitor is enveloped by nature rather than distanced from it. This intimacy is crucial in compact settings where boundaries must dissolve and every square meter must serve both beauty and utility. In modern garden design, I also pay special attention to color harmony. While plants provide the primary palette, furnishings and materials must complement rather than compete. Neutral bases, greys, browns, soft creams allow the greens and seasonal blooms to shine. Pops of color appear in cushions, in ceramic pots, or in the blossoms themselves, creating focal points that guide the eye. I use restraint deliberately, avoiding oversaturation. A single red rose against a background of white jasmine can be far more powerful than a chaotic mix of colors. In this discipline of harmony, elegance reveals itself. Technology has begun to weave into garden spaces as well, and I incorporate it only when it enhances the experience without dominating it. Solar lighting is one aspect, but I also explore simple irrigation systems that conserve water and save time. App-controlled timers for watering or lighting can make a small garden highly efficient, ensuring that even those with busy lives can maintain their sanctuary without strain. The role of technology is not to replace the gardener's care, but to support it discreetly, freeing more time to enjoy the space rather than labor over it. Perhaps one of the most profound strategies I employ is the blending of interior and exterior. A small balcony, when designed with continuity, becomes an extension of the living room rather than a separate unit. Flooring materials that flow from inside to outside, sliding glass doors that frame greenery like a living painting, or planters positioned to blur boundaries. All these techniques expand the sense of space. The garden, no matter how small, becomes part of the home's architecture, enriching its identity. This approach reflects the modern lifestyle, where the distinction between indoors and outdoors is dissolving, replaced by seamless environments of living, resting, and gathering. In every decision, from plant selection to lighting placement, from material choice to spatial zoning, my aim is always the same: to create a sanctuary where elegance is achieved through simplicity and intelligence rather than through expense. The gardens of 2025 must respond to modern challenges: urban density, limited budgets, ecological urgency, while still offering the timeless pleasure of beauty. They must be places where people can retreat, breathe, and reconnect with the rhythms of nature. And they must prove, again and again, that even the smallest outdoor space can hold vast meaning when designed with intention. This is the philosophy that guides me as I craft compact, sustainable, and graceful gardens. It is not a philosophy of excess but of balance, not of show but of quiet sophistication. A well-designed small garden becomes more than a patch of greenery. It becomes a reflection of life itself, tailored to the present moment, yet enduring in its timeless appeal. Elegance in garden design is never the result of chance. It is the culmination of structure, rhythm, and vision working in harmony. When I approach a small outdoor space, I imagine it as a living architectural composition where every line, every material, and every plant contributes to a unified story. A garden is not merely an accessory to a home, it is an extension of the architecture itself, a crafted environment where lifestyle and nature intertwine. This philosophy is most evident when we bring together the threads of functionality, sustainability, and aesthetic discipline into one complete design narrative. The first principle I highlight in this final stage is proportion. In limited spaces, proportion is everything. A single oversized element can overwhelm, while too many small pieces can clutter and confuse. I carefully calibrate scale, ensuring that seating, planters, pathways, and decorative features are balanced with the dimensions of the space. A compact stone fountain might act as a centerpiece, while smaller potted plants frame its edges. A narrow pathway constructed from reclaimed bricks can draw the eye toward a focal tree, elongating the sense of distance. By manipulating proportion, I create harmony, so the garden feels comfortable and intentional, rather than cramped or chaotic. Equally important is movement. A well-designed garden is not static, it guides the body and the gaze through a sequence of experiences. I often use pathways, stepping stones, or layered planting to orchestrate this flow. Even in a small yard, one can move from a shaded corner designed for reading to a brighter open area suited for conversation. In balconies or terraces, movement is created visually. A vertical trellis leads the eye upward while hanging baskets cascade downward, establishing rhythm in a vertical dimension. Movement ensures that a small garden feels like a journey rather than a confined box. It transforms space into an unfolding narrative. Sound is another dimension that enriches the garden experience. While visual elements dominate most designs, I believe that auditory details deepen the sense of immersion. The gentle trickle of water, the rustle of grasses in the wind, the chirping of birds attracted by flowering plants, all these sounds weave into the atmosphere. I design with this awareness, incorporating bamboo that whispers in the breeze or fountains that generate calming acoustics. Even gravel pathways underfoot can provide a satisfying crunch, reinforcing the connection between human presence and the natural environment. Sound turns the garden into more than a visual retreat. It becomes a multi-sensory sanctuary. Scent, too, is a powerful design tool. Beyond visual elegance, I curate plants that release fragrance at different times of day. Lavender and rosemary offer daytime freshness, jasmine perfumes the evening air, and night-blooming flowers create an enchanting nocturnal presence. This layering of scent brings intimacy and memory to the garden, as fragrance has the power to anchor emotion and experience. For me, designing with scent is an act of generosity, ensuring that the garden lingers in the heart as much as in the eye. A key aspect of my approach is sustainability, not as a trend, but as a responsibility. Gardens are part of the larger ecological fabric, and every design choice must respect that relationship. Rainwater collection systems can be integrated subtly, providing irrigation without waste. Composting units, neatly designed, return nutrients to the soil. Native plantings reduce dependency on external resources while supporting pollinators and local biodiversity. When a small garden participates in the larger cycles of ecology, it gains depth of meaning. It is no longer only a private refuge, it becomes a statement of stewardship, proof that beauty and responsibility can coexist seamlessly. Another element that defines elegance is storytelling. A garden is not a random collection of features. It should tell a story about its inhabitants, its place, and its purpose. A recycled bench may speak of resourcefulness, a bonsai of patience, a water basin of tranquility. Each element is a character in the narrative, chosen not simply for utility, but for resonance. When guests enter such a garden, they do not only see plants and furniture, they sense a personality, a philosophy, a way of life expressed in physical form. Storytelling transforms design from function to art, from utility to poetry. Lighting, revisited in this stage, becomes not just functional but theatrical. At dusk, I employ subtle illumination to stage the garden as though it were a performance. Pathways glow softly, drawing visitors inward. Plants are backlit to reveal their silhouettes, turning leaves into delicate sculptures. Water features shimmer with reflections, and seating areas glow warmly, inviting conversation. Light creates mood, and mood creates memory. By mastering the interplay of shadows and illumination, I ensure that the garden lives vividly not only by day but by night, extending its use and deepening its presence. Integration with daily life is the final thread that unites all of these elements. A garden must not sit apart, admired from a distance but rarely used. It must invite touch, interaction, and routine. I envision spaces where a morning ritual unfolds, a cup of tea taken beneath climbing roses, or a yoga mat rolled out beside a vertical wall of greenery. I see evenings where friends gather beneath string lights, conversations unfolding in the quiet air. I see weekends where herbs are harvested for cooking, their fragrance connecting garden to kitchen, design to nourishment. These rituals bring the garden alive, ensuring it is not merely designed, but lived in. Ultimately, the beauty of a garden lies in its ability to elevate ordinary life into something extraordinary. Through proportion, movement, sound, scent, sustainability, storytelling, light, and integration, I construct outdoor spaces that transcend their modest dimensions. They are not defined by their size or their cost, but by their intentionality and their harmony. A well-crafted small garden demonstrates that luxury is not measured in square meters or in money spent. It is measured in thoughtfulness, in creativity, and in the ability to transform space into experience. This philosophy forms the essence of my work, to design gardens that feel timeless, that enrich daily living, and that honor both nature and humanity. They are sanctuaries of balance, crafted carefully and lived fully. In them, elegance finds its truest form, not in extravagance, but in the quiet, enduring beauty of design with purpose.